Imagine a life where nothing can faze you, where stress, anxiety, and negativity have no power over your peace of mind. What if I told you that this isn't just a fantasy, but a real possibility? That by mastering a few key principles, you can become unshakable in the face of life's challenges. Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. I'm going to share with you the 10 basic principles that have transformed my own life and the lives of countless others. These are the principles that enable you to cultivate a mindset of resilience, inner peace, and unwavering strength. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but my life is so challenging right now. I'm dealing with insert personal struggle here. How can a few principles really make a difference? And I understand that skepticism because I've been there myself. There was a time in my life when I felt like I was at the mercy of my circumstances, when every little setback or criticism would send me into a spiral of stress and self-doubt. I was reactive, easily thrown off balance by the ups and downs of life. But through years of study, introspection, and practice, I discovered that we have far more control over our inner world than we often realize. That by consciously choosing our thoughts, beliefs, and responses, we can create an unshakable foundation of peace and strength. So let's dive into these 10 principles. As we do, I invite you to approach them with an open mind. Some of these ideas might challenge your current ways of thinking. They might push you out of your comfort zone. But I promise you, if you truly absorb and apply these principles, your life will change in ways you never thought possible. The first principle is this: you are not your thoughts. This is the foundation of it all. Most of us are so identified with our thoughts that we believe we are our thoughts. If we think something negative about ourselves, we believe it's true. If we have a fearful or angry thought, we become that fear or anger. But the reality is, thoughts are just mental events that come and go. They are not your true essence. You are the awareness behind the thoughts, the conscious presence that observes them. When you start to understand this at a deep level, it's incredibly liberating. You realize that just because you have a negative thought doesn't mean you have to believe it or react to it. You can simply observe it and choose to let it pass by like a cloud in the sky. This principle alone can be life-changing. It enables you to detach from the drama of your mind and rest in the peace of your true self. It's the first step to becoming unaffected by the turbulence of life. The second principle is your perception creates your reality. Have you ever noticed how two people can go through the exact same situation but have completely different experiences of it? One person might find it stressful and overwhelming, while the other finds it exciting and invigorating. This is because our reality is not determined by our external circumstances, but by our perception of those circumstances. It's the meaning we assign to events that shapes our experience. When you deeply grasp this principle, you realize that you have an incredible power. The power to choose your perspective. The power to decide what meaning you give to the events of your life. If you're in the habit of seeing challenges as threats, failures as catastrophes, and criticisms as reflections of your worth, then your reality will be filled with stress and suffering. But if you learn to see challenges as opportunities, failures as feedback, and criticisms as chances to grow, then your reality will be one of resilience and growth. This doesn't mean denying or minimizing the difficulties in your life. It's not about putting on rose-colored glasses and pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it's about consciously choosing the most empowering perspective available to you. It's about asking yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to become stronger, wiser, more compassionate? It's about focusing on what you can control your own mindset and responses rather than what you can't. The third principle is resistance creates suffering. So much of our stress and unhappiness comes from our resistance to what is. We get caught up in thoughts like, this shouldn't be happening, it's not fair, I can't handle this. But the reality is, whatever is happening in the present moment is happening. No amount of resistance will change that fact. All resistance does is create tension and struggle within ourselves. I love the analogy of trying to swim upstream. When you're resisting the current of the river, you exhaust yourself and you don't make any progress. But when you turn around and flow with the river, you harness its energy. You move forward with ease. Now, this doesn't mean becoming a passive doormat and just accepting everything that comes your way. There's a difference between acceptance and resignation. Acceptance is about acknowledging reality as it is in this moment so that you can respond to it skillfully. It's about saying, okay, this is what's happening. Now, what's the wisest way for me to navigate this situation? When you practice this kind of acceptance, you conserve your energy. You don't waste it on futile resistance, so you have more to invest in effective action. You become like a willow tree, bending with the wind instead of rigidly resisting it. The fourth principle is your inner state determines your outer experience. We often think that our happiness and peace are dependent on our external circumstances. If we get that promotion, find that perfect relationship, reach that goal weight, then we'll be content. But the truth is, lasting happiness is an inside job. It's the result of the quality of your consciousness, not the content of your life situation. I've met people who have every external trapping of success, wealth, fame, beauty, but are deeply unhappy. And I've met people who have very little in terms of material possessions, but radiate joy and peace. The difference lies in their inner state. The quality of their thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, the degree to which they are connected to their own deeper essence. When you understand this principle, you stop chasing after external things to make you happy. You start focusing on cultivating the inner qualities that create true fulfillment, things like gratitude, compassion, curiosity, purpose. You realize that you have the power to generate feelings of peace, joy, and love regardless of what's happening around you. You become the source of your own well-being rather than being dependent on circumstances. This is true freedom, the ability to determine the quality of your inner life, no matter what the outer world is presenting you with. The fifth principle is your attention is your most valuable resource. In today's world, there are so many things competing for our attention. Notifications, advertisements, social media, endless to-do lists. It's easy to get caught up in the noise and lose sight of what truly matters. But your attention is precious. What you give your attention to grows. If you're constantly focusing on your fears, worries, and complaints, you'll amplify those things. But if you direct your attention towards what you're grateful for, what you appreciate about yourself and others, and what possibilities exist, you'll cultivate more of that positive reality. One of the most powerful practices you can engage in is mindfulness. This is simply the practice of being fully present in the current moment without judgment. When you're mindful, you're not lost in thoughts about the past or future. You're here now, attentive to what's actually happening. Mindfulness enables you to catch yourself when you're getting pulled into negative thought patterns. It allows you to step back from the chatter of your mind and reconnect with the peace and clarity of the present. It also enhances your ability to focus on what's truly important. When you're not constantly reacting to every stimulus and distraction, you can be more intentional about where you invest your energy and attention. So start treating your attention as the valuable resource it is. Be discerning about what you allow into your mental space. Cultivate mindfulness so you can be more present and purposeful. Your attention shapes your reality, so direct it wisely. The sixth principle is you are always choosing. Every moment of every day you are making choices. Even when you feel like you have to do something, you're still choosing to do it. Even when you feel like you're reacting automatically, you're choosing that reaction. When you deeply understand this principle, it's incredibly empowering. You realize that you are responsible for your life. Not in the sense of blaming yourself for everything that happens to you, but in the sense of recognizing your power to choose your response to what happens. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, put it eloquently when he said, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." When you believe that you are at the mercy of external forces, you feel powerless. But when you recognize that you always have a choice, even if it's just a choice in perspective or attitude, you reclaim your agency. start paying attention to the choices you're making throughout your day. Notice when you're acting out of habit or reactivity and pause. Take a breath into that space between stimulus and response. Then consciously choose the response that aligns with your values and goals. Over time, as you practice this principle, you'll develop a profound sense of inner freedom. You'll know that no matter what life throws at you, you always have the power to choose your inner state and your outer actions. The seventh principle is authenticity is magnetic. In a world that's constantly telling us who we should be, what we should want, and how we should live, it takes courage to be authentically yourself. But when you have the boldness to stand in your truth, something magical happens. You start to attract people and situations that resonate with your authentic energy. You find that you don't have to strive and struggle to make things happen because you're aligned with your natural flow. This doesn't mean that life becomes perfect. It doesn't mean you won't face challenges or that everyone will like and agree with you. But it does mean that you'll face those challenges from a place of wholeness and integrity. It means you'll attract relationships and opportunities that are a true match for who you are. So often we dim our light, hide our quirks, and silence our true voices because we're afraid of rejection or judgment. But the irony is, it's often the very things that make us unique that also make us attractive, interesting, and impactful. Think about the people you most admire and are drawn to. Chances are they're not the ones who are trying to fit in and please everyone. They're the ones who are unapologetically themselves, who have the courage to stand out and speak their truth. So start embracing your own authenticity. Stop trying to fit into boxes that don't align with your soul. Trust that as you show up fully as yourself, you'll magnetize the right people and opportunities. This doesn't mean you shouldn't grow, evolve, and work on yourself, but it does mean that your growth should be towards more of who you truly are, not towards some external standard of who you think you should be. The eighth principle is forgiveness frees you. Holding on to anger, resentment, and bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It doesn't hurt them, but it slowly destroys your own peace and well-being. Forgiveness isn't about condoning hurtful behavior or letting people off the hook. It's not saying that what someone did was okay, rather it's choosing to release yourself from the pain and weight of the past. It's choosing to reclaim your power and freedom in the present. When you hold on to grievances, you're keeping yourself stuck in a victim mentality. You're giving your power away to the person or situation that hurt you. You're letting the past dictate your present emotional state. But when you forgive, you're saying, I'm done letting this weigh me down. I'm ready to move forward unburdened by bitterness. I choose peace over pain. Forgiveness is an act of self-love and self-respect. This doesn't mean forgiveness is easy. When you've been deeply hurt, it can feel almost impossible to let go. It's a process, one that often involves feeling and acknowledging the full depth of your pain before you can release it. But as you practice forgiveness, you'll find that it gets easier. You'll find that you have more energy and mental space for the things that truly matter to you. You'll find that you're able to be more present, joyful, and at peace. So start practicing forgiveness. Start with the small things and work your way up to the bigger hurts. Remember that forgiveness is for you, not for anyone else. It's a gift you give yourself. The ninth principle is gratitude is the antidote to suffering. It's easy to get fixated on what's going wrong in our lives, on what we're lacking or struggling with. Our minds have a negativity bias, meaning we tend to notice and dwell on the bad more than the good. But when we cultivate gratitude, we start to retrain our minds. We start to look for and appreciate all the blessings and gifts in our lives, big and small. We shift our focus from what's missing to what's present. And as we do this, our entire experience of life begins to shift. We realize that even in the midst of challenges and hardships, there's always something to be grateful for. We start to see the hidden blessings in our difficulties, the opportunities for growth and resilience. Gratitude doesn't deny or minimize our pain. It's not about pasting on a fake smile and pretending everything is wonderful. Rather, it's about holding both the joy and the sorrow, the blessings and the struggles. It's about choosing to focus on and appreciate the good even as we navigate the hard. The practice of gratitude has been scientifically shown to increase happiness, improve relationships, reduce stress, and even strengthen the immune system. It's a simple but profound habit that can radically alter your experience of life. So start cultivating gratitude. Keep a gratitude journal, listing a few things you're thankful for each day. Share your appreciation with others, telling them what you value about them. Look for the small moments of beauty and kindness in your daily life. As you make gratitude a regular practice, you'll find that even the toughest days hold glimmers of grace and goodness. You'll find that you're more resilient, more open to joy, and more connected to the abundance of life. The 10th and final principle is you are here to grow and give. So often we get caught up in the pursuit of external achievements, validation, and pleasure. We think that if we just get the right job, the right relationship, the right body, the right possessions, then we'll be happy and fulfilled. But deep down, we know that's not true. We know that no external thing can give us lasting satisfaction. We know that we're here for something more. I believe that we each have two core purposes in life: to grow and to give, to continually learn, evolve, and expand into the fullness of our potential, and to contribute and be of service to something beyond ourselves. When we align our lives with these purposes, we tap into a deep sense of meaning and fulfillment. We feel that we're a part of something greater, that our existence matters. We're no longer just going through the motions or chasing fleeting pleasures, but are engaged in the grand adventure of life. Growth doesn't always feel good in the moment. It can be uncomfortable, even painful, to stretch beyond our comfort zones, to confront our limitations and shadows. But it's in this stretching that we become more of who we're meant to be. It's how we build strength, wisdom, and character. Giving also requires us to step beyond our self-focus, to consider how we can make a difference to others. It asks us to share our gifts, our time, our energy in service of something we value. But in this giving, we often receive far more than we offer. We experience connection, purpose, and the joy of making a positive impact. Your specific path of growth and giving is unique to you. It may involve creating art that inspires others, or being a compassionate listener for a friend in need. It may mean starting a business that solves a problem, or raising children with love and wisdom. It may be as simple as tending a garden with care, or as grand as leading a social movement. The form doesn't matter as much as the intention and the heart you bring to it. When you commit to continual growth and heartfelt giving, you'll find that your life becomes an ever-unfolding expression of your deepest values and aspirations. So keep growing, keep giving, keep asking yourself, how can I learn and evolve today? How can I contribute and make a difference? Know that as you do this, you're aligning with the highest purpose of life itself. Those are the 10 principles. Let's take a moment to review them. You are not your thoughts. Your perception creates your reality. Resistance creates suffering. Your inner state determines your outer experience. Your attention is your most valuable resource. You are always choosing. Authenticity is magnetic. Forgiveness frees you. Gratitude is the antidote to suffering. You are here to grow and give. These principles, when truly absorbed and applied, have the power to transform your life from the inside out. They can help you navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life with greater ease, resilience, and joy. They can guide you towards a life of authentic expression, meaningful contribution, and deep inner peace. But intellectual understanding is not enough. These principles must be lived, practiced, embodied. They're not a quick fix, but a lifelong journey of growth and awakening. So start where you are. Choose one principle that resonates with you and begin to apply it.